Hi, it's John from BD, and today we're going to be taking a fiberglass replica bumper and turning it into this. Oof, sexy. So here we are with the original bumper that came on the car, which isn't bad and all, but not great for a front mount intercooler. So what I'm doing is, spin it. I'm going to relieve it of all its fittings. So, all these fittings, because these obviously bolt on at the OEM places on the body and at the bottom. It's this, with the brackets there. And also, which side's this? It's these, which are very important because if I can bond them onto the fiberglass, they clip straight into the clips on the wing. Very good. Shoulder there. Right. All of them came out. Hallelujah. So, I'll try to do this with one hand. Lower support bracket. Upper support inner. And top bracket. Also, side brackets. And I am one missing. The devil I've done with it. There it is. Very good, very good. Okie doke. So I'm going to test fit all these, see if they fit on the bumper, and then we'll send them off for blasting. Right, be happy to know that looks like none of these brackets are going to work. Great. Because on this bumper, there's a good ridge there. Yeah, can you see? Recess. And then one of them sits on there. That sits on there like that, yeah. On here, there's no recess. So, yes. And I fitted the bumper corner indicators, side repeaters, whatever you want to call them. Great, perfect fit, yes. Oh fucking dear. Excuse my French. 10mm off. Well, more than 10mm. And the other side's alright though, isn't it? So, I'm debating on whether I am going to cut this section out and just move it up, or whether I'm going to fill all this section full of glass, because there's nowhere to put the retaining screw either. So I'd have to make a tab in there for that. The joys of fiberglass. Yes. Okay, so as you can see, what I've done is I've cut the slot out, yeah, and cut a section out of here and here on this side. Obviously the tape's just holding it in place for reference. That fits now. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-fiberglass all this bit. Boom, job's a good one. And here it is from the back. So the shape isn't absolutely perfect around here, but once I've over fiberglassed it, I can grind it all back. So yeah, so what I'll do is I will tape that from that side like that, and then glass it all from the inside. So when I take the tape off the outside, it's pretty flat. So the majority of the support will come from all on the inside, and then I just need to dress it up on the outside. So there we go. There's all the pieces cut out that side. You can see how we've cut it out, because you can basically see a bit of daylight behind there. Yeah, there's my finger. And on the other side, that one's the same too. And if I flick the bumper over, you can see. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fiberglass all this area in. I'm going to grind these edges off a little bit, fiberglass it all in up there to strengthen it, and hopefully you'll never know. So I'll show you what I mean now. So I put some fiberglass bridging filler in there. I was going to use the matting, but with it being like a double converse curvy area, whatever you want to call it, I would have had to have done it in pieces, so it just wouldn't have worked. So that's all in there, and that's all in there. And if I flip the bumper over, I've removed the tape now. You can see that's all glass there, that's all sorted. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind this out a little bit, put a V in it, and then glass it from this side too. And then we'll just need some dressing up. The important bits are going to be here. Not so much inside there. It will look right, but I don't want any shrinkage around here. So a good grind back and take it lower than the rest of the bumper, and then I can skim it in, and then we can use some filler afterwards. And there we go, they are also all repaired. Very good. I'll put the repeaters in them now, indicators, whatever you want to call them, we'll have a look. Indicators in, all fitted and looking nice. Like a glove. Now obviously I would love to prep the whole bumper now and get it on the car and test fit it, but I can't because the vehicle is still on a rotisserie spit. And also we've got a front mount intercooler going in here, so I'm not sure yet if anything is going to need trimming. I am not going to be removing the centre section like a lot of people do, which aids cooling and all that, but there's no chance of that. So what I might do is I might get on with making the grills for here. I haven't got enough mesh, I don't think, for the whole thing there. And again, I don't know what I'm going to do with the intercooler, so I might make some grills for that and then put it on the back burner for a bit. Another job marked off. Right, here we go. Look how clean and nice the workshop is now. I took a week off, spruced it all up, cleaned it out, threw out a load of junk and repainted everywhere. And now, because a couple of cars have been cleared, this is where the Celica is staying. And while it's here, I've decided that to move things forward, it's going to have to come off a spit. Yes. Just the front end. The rear end will stay on the spit. I'm going to jack it up. I'm going to put some industrial axle stands under the suspension mounting points here and here. And then this whole thing can be wheeled and pulled out the way. And then I can work all on the front end, because there's a few jobs that need doing which can't be done while this is in the way. I.e., the bonnet can't go on. I've got that lovely Carlos Sainz replica bonnet. Don't even know if it fits yet. And without that on, the wings can't be put in place. And then without the wings in place, I can't test fit the bumper and put all the new fittings on that, because that's a fiberglass bumper. And also, I've got a front mount intercooler, which is going to take some work. And we're not sure if there's going to be any cutting of any holes for any intercooler pipes or whatever, or brackets making. So I'm going to get the axle stands in and try by myself to get it all safe, secure, and get this buggered off. Can't damage my new floor now, can I? So, this should be free now. Oh, isn't it exciting? Right, so now, this is free. This can be unbolted. So, I'm going to bolt it from here and here, here and here, and it should slide out once I've separated the centre parts. I think you might call that one a winner. $17. Of course, this would be easy if some idiot hadn't put his pop-up headlights in. Got a bit excited, didn't I? And the spit is removed. Get out of here, fucker. Right, there we go. We have jacked it up. I have put an axle stand on either side of the mounting points where the lower arms bolt on, I do believe. And also because I value my life, I have put a centre brace in as well, just in case, because if, I know it's not going to, but just in case something fails on either that axle stand or that axle stand, it's on, not only is the car knackered because it'll land right on that corner or that corner, but also there's a chance I could be under it, and that's not good, is it? So there we go. And I've started bolting a couple of bits back on. The this front bumper brace, support bar, whatever you want to call it, and the centre bit there, the support for that. Just put a couple of bits of tape over it because I'm going to be sliding and test fitting the bumper on and off, which is here. And this spacing here is critical. So a bit of playing around with that and we can get that test fitted. Right, so I've been doing a bit of fitting. Just a bit of advice. Don't buy a fiberglass bumper. Jeez. Been a lot of work. The fit isn't perfect at the moment. As you can see, there's a little bit there, but I will get it. And all this isn't a perfect fit, but it's all level, it's all lined up, and it's all looking pretty sweet, which is good. This is all fitted, that's just roughly in place, because what I'm thinking of doing is, to get it out of the way, and to stop the engine bay getting all dusty, and to test fit it, I think it's time for the bonnet. I've got no idea if it's going to fit. I'm hoping it will. The bonnet's from the same place the bumper was from. The bumper isn't bad, so I'm going to try and get it on my own. Ooh, wish me luck. Well, that wasn't easy, but look at that. Oh, I'm there to the semi. It fits pretty well, the bonnet. There's so much adjustment that's needed. It's not just adjusting the wings so this line's half decent or it matches here. There's also around the headlights, there's so many, you can adjust the headlights forward, back, in and out, twisting. There are quite big gaps at the moment. We don't look at it on here, but they are. So that's a bit big there, but they're all consistent. So yeah, I'm impressed. The frustrating thing is this all has to come off, but I'm making sure everything fits first, because if I do have to make a fake shut line, add some onto the bonnet here and here, that's what I'll do. Windscreen wiper linkage and all the scuttle needs to go back in, but the linkage was seized, so I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But there we go, looking good. All that work paying off. We've got some decent fit. It's a bit tight around this area with this, but you know, it is what it is. Boom. So we have test fitted the bumper. I'm not 100% with the way it fits against the wing here. The original, let's have a look. The wings have these clips in here which this locates into. On the original bumper, this is riveted to the inside of it, so you put it on and you just bang it into place. So I've drilled it out and I've removed it, and I'm putting, what I'm going to do is, let me change it to this view, that's better. I'm putting it on the car by itself. Let's try that again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the car by itself. There. Pop it in. That's not popped in properly there, is it? There we go. Popped in and popped in. Yeah. So imagine the bumper's here. This is connected to the bumper and that's locked into place then. And what it acts as a bracket to mount there as well. It pops in here and it covers under there. So what I've done is I fitted them to both to this side. I'm going to test fit the bumper to make sure the bumper sits nice across there. And what I'm literally going to do is I'm going to put a load of adhesive, PU adhesive on here and on the other side, refit the bumper, clamp it up, leave it overnight. So when it's all the glue's dried, it'll be in exactly the right place on the bumper, and I'll take the bumper off and that'll be properly fitted to it. And I'll show you it done, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, in case I've just talked a load of rubbish. Hey! Okay, here's the original bumper bar bumper support bracket, the top bracket that fits inside the bumper. Here, obviously this is a fiberglass, meant to fit in the step, but it hasn't got it. So what I've done is, I've spot welded a bit of a razor bar on it to give it more support and stop it flexing, as you can see inside there. This area is critical because this, depending on the size of this, depends on how high or low the bumper is. So it has been a little bit of trial and error. I think I've got it now, because that acts as a main support all the way across the front. So let's see how we get on, and let's do another test fit. So here's the bracket in place. What I've done is, because it needs spacing down, is I've used some little bits of rubber tube, some air hose, to what I think is the right distance. And what that means is, while we're test fitting, I can tighten this up and it'll squash the tube. So if it was a solid piece of tube, you won't get any movement, but I can adjust by loosening or tightening how much that gap's going to open and close, because it's quite spring loaded there. So the more I loosen it, the more the top of the bumper's going to raise up. The more I tighten it, the more it's going to pull down, and it's not going to bend the bracket because I put that L section piece in there to strengthen it up. Let's try it. Right, okay, final test fit for the bumper, and we're going to glue these brackets on. Like we mentioned before, these brackets come off. Once they're glued on now, we'll do the final fit with the bumper, clamp it up, and tomorrow, when I undo it all, these brackets should come off with the bumper, because at the moment, there's a bit of pressure on this bottom one, because it's a fiberglass bumper and it's not exactly straight, it's got a bit of twist. A lot of the pressure's down at this point here, so if I can spread all that load all the way across here, it's going to be stronger, isn't it? So I've given them a quick sand down. I'm just going to give them a quick clean with some panel white. And then we're going to use some black adhesive, just some Tiger Seal. I don't want anything too hard and too strong, because if I ever need to cut it off, I want something PU based polyurethane. So let's see how it goes. If it's clean, it's going to stick a lot better, isn't it? You're not sticking to dirt or grease. Okay. Okay. I think pretty much the more the merrier with this, isn't it? Sticky stuff, this. Really thick. Okay. Right. Let's see if I can mess it up. Okay. Always have your bolts at hand, makes life a lot easier. Put them in loose because there is a bit of movement everywhere really, so the main thing is to get these to bond. Okay. So this side first. That's about as good as I'm going to get it, I think. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to attempt to show you what I've done. So you can see, it's hard to see. Pull my neck in, it's hard to see. There's the bracket in there that clips onto the wing. It's now bonded to the bumper. So when it's all dried, when I undo the bolts for the bumper, that bracket that clips into the wing should come away with the bumper. So in theory, it's the way it was on the original, it's just bonded on. Can you see on this side? Let me have a look. Yeah, there you go. Plenty of bond there. I know it's scrabbed because there was some adhesive coming out the side, so I know that it's made contact. So I smoothed that out. And then to this area here was coming out about 3 or 4 mil. I wasn't happy about it. So that's what you saw me doing, drilling in. So I pushed it back, because if you pushed it, it went in. So I pushed it back in so it grabbed the adhesive. Then I've drilled through and put a screw there to hold it in place while it dries. And then obviously once it has dried, I'll take the screw out and I'll fill that hole, even though the corner light, or whatever you want to call it, side light, covers that, but we'll do it right. So the fit on the bumper is spot on. It's got a bit of a rounded edge there, but I have had to trim it there. So it does need a bit of work, but that can be done once everything's dried, ready for final prep. It's nice and level across here. There's a little bit of a bow there, but when I tighten that down, it pulls it all back into place. And all around here, it's a nice fit too. So here's the bumper, final, very final test fit before it gets broken down and primed in the booth. Hottest day of the year today, we're baking. I'll quickly talk through what I've done. I've added a return in here because it was single skin fiberglass. So I've added about 4 or 5 mil of fiberglass in there. So it's got a full return so you can't see through there. The brackets are bonded on all the way down here. So we're bolted under here, we're bolted under here, and we're clipped at the 2 points here and here. Okay, this bracket's all on. This bracket's all on, this fitting and that fitting, the same all on here. It's all bodywork. So I've got the original brackets back under here. These things, I'd forgot about them. I've been trying to figure out what they were for ages. So they're on. Everything's lined up as best as I can get it. It is very slightly wibbly wobbly across there. There's not a lot I can do apart from alter it when I nip these bolts up. But I won't be able to do that until it's fully painted. So, what a nightmare. 3 days I've spent on this. Bit of a waste of time really, but guessing original bumpers is a bit of a pain in the bum. So let's break it down and let's get it in the booth for some primer. So here's a return I was talking about, made out of fiberglass. It was just single skin there, so this just stopped, quite flappy. So I put some foam edge tape down in here and then built it up with some fiberglass. I've also made these bits, which I need to drill because that's where the screw for the indicator or side repeater goes in. So that side and that side, looking good. Right, let's break it down, get this bumper bar off, and I can get things primed. Okay, bumper's sorted, cleaned and cleaned again. It's all sanded and it's all ready for a little bit of epoxy, just on the bare metal bits on the brackets which are bonded to it. And then we'll get ready for some 2K black primer. It's the hottest day of the year in the UK today. It's about 35 degrees. So I'm going to have to use a very slow thinner and a very slow activator in my primer. Otherwise it will dry too quick. It may even dry before it hits the panel. So, let's go. Okay, ready for some 2-pack black primer. Going to shoot it, put a bit of plastic additive in there to help with elasticity and flexibility. More for stone chips. Right, it's going to smash it on, let's do it. See, dried already. Look at that. Go number 2, going to go a bit heavier this time. So there we go, bumper in primer. Quite difficult to spray today because it's so hot that it's the paint's flashing off very quickly. So you can put it on a lot heavier than you normally would do. If I sprayed like that in winter, I'd probably end up getting runs. So I'm going to go put it in God's oven. I'm going to put it outside for a bit in the sun. Looks lovely, doesn't it? So here is the bumper bracket, which I've modified and welded, bent it to the correct shape. Welded some nuts on the back to make it fitting easier. I'm just going to get some epoxy on it and then a bit of matte black, or I may do gloss while I'm doing the bumper. So I didn't bother recording the footage of me painting, because you've seen enough of me painting, I suppose. So the bumper's done, and while it was there, I redid the wings because they needed a bit of a flow coat, and there was a couple of scratches from when I was fitting the bumper on and off. So they got done, and it's turned out really nice. Yes, just looks beautiful all in one colour. So that's the bumper painted, and now we can leave it for a couple of days and look at fitting it. So there we go. Bumper all fitted with side repeaters, side lights in, the main trims across, all screwed down, all fitted. It looks outstanding, doesn't it? With the bonnet or hood, the wings or fenders, it's just all works. For a fiberglass bumper and a fiberglass bonnet, I'm really impressed. I am. Like I say, it has been an awful lot of work, but to get all the original fittings on, to get a good finish there, good fit, a good fit here, a good fit on these, which if you remember, hiya, can you see me? I had to change all this. I've just got the little mesh grills I've made to fit in there, and then we've got front mount intercooler. But yeah, there we go. It's really taking shape now, isn't it? Right guys, there we go. Bonnet, bumper, wings, all the front end, all fitted, all with factory fitting points and all the hardware associated with that. It's come out really nice. It has been a lot of work, probably 2 to 3 weeks, getting it all prepped, painted, fitted, you know, getting all the panel gaps right. But you get out what you put in. What's going to be next? You'll have to wait till next time. See you later, guys.